Welcome back to another amazing episode of Trailer Trashing. I am your host, Joey Rinaldi, and joining me as they do every week is our chief editor producer, Charlie Weinshank, and our amazing co-host, Derek Blythe. How you guys doing today?
That only took three times, everyone.
I know. I kept on burping, hiccuping. I have a case of the jitters today. Did Derek die again?
Derek, are you dead?
Oh, no. I
didn't
Derek
die.
died.
I'm not dead.
Oh, you just...
I'm not... Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. I felt like Bruce Willis. So everyone's like... I'm like shouting, I'm not dead, and no one's hearing me.
Well, speaking of dead stuff, our theme is the dead and beloved Charleston Heston, who died in 2008. But let's not talk about his death. Let's talk about his amazing acting career. He's one of my favorite actors ever. He won an Oscar in 1959 for Ben-Hur. Do you guys have any feelings towards this lovely man?
I saw Ben-Hur when I was a little kid. I watched it with my dad. Also, I'm impressed. I didn't think that's what the transition was going to be, Joey. Well done.
It's what I do. I transition when you least expect it. So you guys being film buffs, Charlie being a filmmaker, and Derek being a film actor,
That's
I guess?
a fucking secret.
Oh, you don't want people knowing that you make films, Charlie?
No, that's the first time you've ever mentioned it, or anyone's ever on the podcast.
Well, since you guys are both in the film industry, I want to know if Charlton Heston has anything to do with the impact of, because I know for me, he's everything when it comes to film.
He's made a long career of being the same one sweaty character. He's pretty sweaty in a lot of stuff. That 70s sweat.
70s sweat is some of the best.
I'm actually
sweat.
I'm doing a live eBay auction right now to get a bottle of Charlton Heston sweat. So I'll let you know how it goes with another episode.
I've seen a few of his movies, but I can't say it had that big of an impact on me. I remember the Ben-Hur stuff from when I was little. I don't even know if I've seen the full movie because I was so little, but I do remember it. I've seen the one where he's like, no, not the Statue of Liberty. Oh, no, God, why? You know that one?
Yeah, that's
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes,
You blew it up.
Yeah.
Damn it, you blew it all up.
And I love Planet of the Apes so much because my dad, when I was 10 years old, came home from work one night in a manic with all the DVDs of Planet of the Apes. It was like, I can't believe I've been your father for 10 years and I haven't introduced you to Planet of the Apes yet. You gotta know Charlton Heston and his work. And we just sat down for 2-3 days in a row and just watched all the Planet of the Apes. And it was one of the most magical times of my childhood.
Yeah, I watched Planet of the Apes with my dad too.
Did he also have a boner for Charlton Heston and made your mom jealous?
No, I don't think so because I honestly didn't know that was Charlton Heston until this week.
Dude, Charlie, you should not call yourself a filmmaker if you don't know about the work of
I'd
this
like
man.
to point out that I've never once on this podcast called myself a filmmaker.
Well, you made a film. It's in film festivals. If you're in San Diego, check out the San Diego Film Festival because that's where Charlie's film is.
I don't think that's true.
I know. I just thought I made up a random city. I was like, yeah.
I don't think any film festivals are happening right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Globally.
Well, you know what's funny? I don't think any film festivals are happening either in the Society of Soylent Green, which is the first movie we're going to be watching today. And I love Soylent Green. This is another movie I think my dad came home manically and was like, we got to watch this movie. And,
this is a movie that I've been meaning to see for so long, and I just never saw it. So I guess I'll watch the trailer and decide once again that I do want to watch this movie, but will I see it? Who knows?
Charlie, before we talk about it and watch it, do you not know the twist? Are you one of the only people that doesn't know the twist?
No, I definitely know the twist.
What's
Okay,
the
then
twist?
good, because that's all I wanted to talk
Soylent Green
about.
is people! It's people!
It's the main thing about this movie is the 1 second at the end where he screams that. I think he ends every movie screaming at the heavens, but this is a famous one for that.
All right, but you know what? I jumped the gun too soon because before we can introduce Soylent Green, there's a few fun facts that I need to tell Derek about because I know Derek will lose his shit if he hears this stuff.
You don't need to tell me about them, though?
I mean,
I'll just be here, so it's fine. You can
Charlie,
tell them to Derek,
Charlie,
and
no
I'll
offense.
listen to them.
No offense, but you're just the producer, man. Stay out of this.
Can you say the other two movies too before we move on?
Oh, we're also gonna see though Mega Man, and we're gonna see the trailer of The Naked Jungle. But
Naked Jungle.
okay, so Derek, buckle up for these fun facts. So Charlton Heston is the former president of the NRA. He was the president for like 30 years. Did you know this?
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Whoa, I didn't.
Super
fucking know
famous for that.
I wish you told me to buckle up because I feel like I just got thrown through the windshield.
For like 10 years, like that was his. Like Phil Hartman was him in like every week, you know, being an NRA guy or screaming "Soylent Green is people."
I don't have my SNL history on lock, I guess. In 2003, George Bush awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award, which is like one of the highest awards an American citizen can get.
The medal is made of chocolate. It's chocolate.
All right, now I'm going to get down to some crazy shit. For 6 years, Charleston Heston held the United States' highest security clearance because he was hired by the government to narrate highly classified military instructional videos.
That is crazy. How do we know that that's true if we don't have the clearance?
You know what? That's a good question.
I'm sure a lot of people know that they recognize Charlton Heston going, "This is your basic Vietnamese soldier. Darn dirty in the bushes. This is how to look out for them."
Okay, all right. This is to wrap it all up. This is also very fun. So, as you guys know, Charlton Heston was not just Moses, but he was also God in the Ten Commandments. Okay,
Right?
because he did such a good job at voicing God. In 1993, during the standoff between David Koresh at Waco, they were doing a lot of like crazy shit with like audio to like freak them out. And one of which they had the voice of God talk to David Koresh. And yes, they hired Charlton Heston to voice God to talk to David Koresh at
God.
Waco. Just how confusing. Like, do you think Charlton Heston realized the impact he was doing at the time?
Every new fact I learn about the Branch Davidians, is more and more ridiculous. But like the from the cult and the government. Just imagine like there's probably Vietnamese villages too where like they also heard Charlton Heston's voice saying he was a ghost in their language before their whole village being firebombed. Just like Waco. He's probably the last voice we all hear.
Can you guys give some background for the people at home so that they can feel like they know what Waco is?
I
The
guess,
Branch
yeah.
Davidians and David Koresh were just a cult that
Just
lived
watch
in
the
this
Waco
community.
doc. Just watch the Waco show on Netflix. It's so much easier than hearing us explain it.
Brief background.
Well, rather that's probably like 4 hours long. Just like the government just decided that, and Janet Reno decided they shouldn't exist anymore, and then he resisted, and then they ended up driving into their buildings with tanks and just murdering everyone.
I think I actually saw that on Netflix.
It's really good. But you know what's also really good? The movie trailer of Soylent Green, which we're going to watch right now.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? New York City, in the year 2022. Nothing runs anymore. Nothing works. But the people are the same. And the people will do anything to get what they need.
This is the police.
What they need most is Soylent Green.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. Return to your home.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? Detective Sergeant Thorne. He has a 2-year backlog of unsolved murders. Now he's on a case that must be solved. Saul Roth, Thorne's private library.
Hey, Saul.
A living book in a world without books.
Have some pencils. Courtesy of your next assignment. William R. Simonson.
Simonson. He was the first to learn the secret of Soylent Green.
They told me to say that they were sorry, but that you had become unreliable.
Saul Roth was the next to know.
How do we come to this?
And he chose to die rather than reveal the secret of Soylent Green. What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Why did you set up Simonson?
I didn't. Cheryl.
See your hands.
Officially, she's furniture. She comes with the apartment. She belongs to the tenant.
How many times you been in trouble with the police, Cheryl?
Never.
Can't hear you.
Never.
Captain Hatcher. First, he wanted this case solved.
Simonson. What do you say?
It was an assassination.
Now, he just wants it
Who
closed.
bought you? High and hot, and they want this case closed permanently. Their way. Now, you sign this.
You sign it!
Thorne refuses to close the Simonson case.
Just do what you have to do. Where did you go with Simonson?
He took me to church.
Church.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 6 months since my last confession.
Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Chuck Connors, Lee Taylor Young, Brock Peters, Paula Kelly, and Joseph Cotton fight for survival and try to solve the most bizarre riddle ever to face mankind. The search for the secret of Soylent Green. You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We gotta stop him!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Please!
Wow.
That was
awesome.
that was so fucking long.
It was really long.
If anybody is still listening to this podcast, thank you for believing in us, because if I understood if you just turned it off halfway through that trailer because it was so long.
I really liked the way the trailer went, but it was just so long, and I felt like it gave away like everything. Because
They
the thing
gave
is,
away how Saul dies.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the only thing they didn't give away is what is Soylent Green, like what the secret is. But like, I gave that away before the trailer even happened. So if you,
We all
if
know
you,
it.
You know, yeah, exactly.
Charlie,
Everybody
can
knows.
you break down exactly what the trailer looked like for everybody who couldn't see it
Yeah,
at
it
home?
was really sweaty people from the 70s freaking out in groups, and it's like it's some sort of dystopian future, which is actually 3 years from now.
And the letters.
Yeah, and so every once in a while it would stop, and there'd be a robot voice, when the whole screen would fill
What
up with the words.
Is the secret of Soylent Green, 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 green. New York, 2022.
Is it? Does it have to do with Bruce Willis?
It's in the same camp because, especially if anyone is going to be watching this now, they're going to be waiting for the twist, which is one line at the end. So it's like how our kids are going to watch that freaking Bruce Willis movie.
The seventh feeling.
The Sixth Sense. They're gonna see him like in all the like when his like wife can't see him in the shower or whatever, and be like, yeah, we know it's people. He's dead.
Yeah,
I know.
Exactly. So
Planet of the Apes is Earth. Oh God, somebody help me! I like that at the end.
yeah.
Oh God!
So Edward G. Robinson died in this movie, right?
Is that the actor's name?
Yeah, which is really sad because he apparently died 12 days after this movie was filmed because of cancer. I don't know why I felt like sharing that, but
That was not a fun fact.
that was not a
That
fun
was
fact.
not a fun fact.
The thing about this movie is that it's kind of tough when you have a really famous movie with like a really like famous twist, because everyone knows the twist, and that's why otherwise if no one knew the twist, this trailer would be incredible because it's so weird and like, okay, all these people are dying, why are they dying? But everybody knows because the twist is like literally one sentence, and it's like the same thing as what Derek was saying 5 seconds ago with The Sixth Sense, is the whole thing is like, I see dead people, Soylent Green is people. If you can fit your really famous plot twist into one sentence and people all know about it, and like it's really easy to remember because it's one sentence, then your movie's kind of like ruined forever.
Yeah,
And it's fine. Like the assisted suicide stuff's kind of interesting. They just give you poison and play images of trees for you and good music while you die.
That's awesome.
And it's like if you like dystopian stuff that has really low budgets.
I do. I'm definitely gonna watch this
The
movie.
budget is so low.
Really?
This is the way I feel about the trailer. I think the trailer itself was really bad. I thought that it kind of sucked. But based on what Derek's implying, since Charleston Heston has a big fan base, since dystopian movies have a big fan base, since sweaty people in the 70s have a big fan base.
Yes, me and Derek are part of that fan base.
The trailer didn't really need to be that good because it already had all the meat and potatoes that everybody already wanted. Like, I want to know the secret of Soylent Green by watching that trailer, even though the trailer itself sucked. So that's why
I feel the opposite way, dude. I feel like the problem was the trailer was really awesome, but everyone knew the secret to Soylent Green.
Dude, it was 3 minutes of people giving away that someone died, and people was like, it was
the
boring.
problem with the trailer was that they were giving away too much, but the trailer itself was
which
cool.
makes it a bad trailer. I'm giving it a 5.
The trailer, I'll give a 6. I mean, we're not arguing over.
So
something
why
that
are you
different.
arguing with me if you're just gonna go 1 point over than me? Yeah,
Because you said it was a bad trailer, but you
was a
wanted to
bad
know the
trailer.
secret. I said the trailer was cool, but they gave away, like, I already know the secret.
No, I know, but like it gave me the feeling of wanting to know the secret all over again. Dick.
I'm gonna give it a 6 as well because I love the 70s. It's a sweaty, stinky, like it's the most stinky looking trailer we've watched.
Yeah, it's definitely stinky looking.
Look, everyone's dressed as military chefs, and it's like red. It's like red and green, and everyone's sweaty. And there's like construction equipment that they clearly just rented for the day to scoop up people. It's gross. It's gross and sweaty and very dystopian.
Yeah.
We have to name this episode Charleston Heston because everyone keeps saying it that way.
Wait, Charleston.
What is it really?
It's Charlton Heston. I
Is
think
that
Joey
Charleston?
has said it wrong every single time.
He got it wrong to the point where I was convinced.
Oh, you know why? Because in my notes I have Charleston Heston. Charlton. Charlton Heston.
gosh.
Fuck. But another thing we're going to change for today's episode, instead of calling it the Rotten Tomato game, let's call this the Soylent Tomato game in honor of Charlton Heston.
Everyone has to know, what are Soylent tomatoes made out of?
People!
God damn it! It's evil! Ah!
So what do you guys think that this got on the tomato meter or the Soylent Tomato meter?
I think that it's crazy that they made a drink called Soylent that gave everybody frothy diarrhea, and that nobody was like, why would you made a drink after a drink that was made out of people in a movie.
The drink was after the movie?
Yeah, there was a drink called Soylent that was supposed to be a meal replacement, and the joke was that, like, I guess they are funny guys with a good, funny sense of humor.
I guess there are a couple of funny dudes made this drink that liquefies your insides to get you ready for the slaughter.
We got a couple of wise guys making sodas.
Well, a couple of dudes with your funny drinks. I got a funny drink for you to sip on. Shut the hell up!
Hey!
Oh!
So that's what I think. I think that I don't know why anyone would make a drink after like a horror drink. But hey,
so based on the soda, Charlton Heston, the sweat, the trailer, what are you gonna give this on the Soylent Tomato scale? The Soylent scale.
Who goes first?
Derek goes first, I guess.
I think it's probably got like a 65.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a cult movie, cult classic. I think retroactively they probably rated it well.
Charlie, how do you counter?
I'm gonna go 79.
And Derek wins.
What?
Whoa!
Charlie, you are so bad at the tomato game. I hate playing this with you. It was a 71, so you weren't far off.
What did Derek say?
65. So yeah, this is what the Soylent scale people said. While admittedly melodramatic and uneven in spots, Soylent Green ultimately succeeds with its dark, plausible version of a dystopian future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I get it. That's how I feel. And what did our best friend, favorite person in the whole entire world, Mr. Roger motherfucking Take Me Back to School, Ebert say?
Yeah, Roger Ebert he gave it a 3 out of 4. So
he loved it.
No, that's good. It's good, but it's like kind of like in the same kind of situation. I would say that that's kind of even to the Rotten Tomato score. It's got this big picture on it of Soylent Green. What is this? Is this like the packaging from the movie of what Soylent Green came in or something?
I think so.
I don't know. It's like the one thing they didn't show was people actually eating it.
Really? In the whole movie?
Well, this is a breakfast cereal.
They made a breakfast cereal?
It says it on the box. Everyone
Yeah.
loves these breakfast cereal grains of Condi rice. It's people.
Yeah, we're gonna. All right, I guess we're gonna have to buy this, and
I think this is a joke.
we should do a taste
Yeah.
test. All right. While you're reading the review, I'm gonna look up to see if we can still buy this.
All right. The movie looks good. A lot of money apparently was spent on it, which is contrary to what Derek said.
Yeah, I could be wrong again. That's what I learned in high school, but what did they know in my public school?
Which is nothing new for director Fleischer, whose credits include Dr. Dolittle and Tora Tora Tora, about which the less said, the better. Wow. The most impressive scene is one of the last, when Robinson decides the time has come for him to die. He goes to Home, a gigantic euthanasia center where he gets 20 minutes of his favorite color, orange, and wraparound movies of the way life used to be on Earth. His acting here is tremendously dignified and all the more poignant when we realize his death scene was his last. Like what Joey was saying.
That sounds a lot like one of those weird YouTube channels. 20 minutes of your favorite color, orange. It's got like 1 billion views. Like, who is just putting on orange? With orange sounding music.
Condi Rice.
It's so wild that I love that we have this a dumb podcast because it's ridiculous.
Hey,
that,
this is a dignified podcast with very smart people.
Yeah, sure.
People!
This podcast is people. You blew it all up.
Was that Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah, it really came out that way, didn't it?
People.
The podcast is people. I got people in my food.
You blew it all up. Sometimes it just comes out. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, so it's really funny that we watch movie trailers on this because it's really just changed my whole perspective on things. Because Soylent Green to me is a knockout of a movie, one of the greatest movies ever. There's nothing but like goodness that fills my heart and soul when I hear the word Soylent Green and phrase compound scent. I don't know. So that's not a word though.
What are you talking about?
I said
Joey,
words.
stay on target. Stay on target, Joey.
I said words Soylent Green, but I realized that's 2 words, and so the word Soylent Green rather plural. But the thing is, I watched this movie trailer. I fucking hated it. I fucking watched saw the tomato scale. It gave it a 70 when I thought it was gonna be for sure like a 99. And then Roger Ebert is trashing the thing, even though he gave it 3 whatevers. So
He didn't trash it.
Really?
He said it was all right. A 3 out of 4 isn't that good.
But he said something silly though.
He said that the best scene in the movie was the last one, and it's all the more poignant when you realize that that last scene in the movie is his death scene. And
All right, that's
that
not
was also
silly.
his last scene. And yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know
Jerry.
why. You know what it is? I think you add a little like comedic character to Roger Ebert's reviews that makes me take it less serious.
Thanks, dude.
But and you know what? I was also a little mad during that whole segment because the fun facts for Soylent Green are just not fun, and
They're not fun at all.
Look, the problem with the trailer, as we can all agree, is it gives too much away. But visually, I thought that the trailer was really great, and the 70s style with like the voiceover, like this, what is the secret? I thought that most of the aspects of the trailer were good,
2022.
but the
Women
length
are
and
sex objects.
and giving it all away is what made it bad.
Yeah. Why would you show people's death scenes?
Yeah, it's crazy.
before we move on, I'll give you one fun fact that could be fun. Mike Henry's character is supposed to be a New York City cop, but for some reason he refused to do a New York accent and instead did a Southern draw. And it's really funny because like he's not a New Yorker. He's why is he doing that? Is that fun? That's not even a
Sounds
fun
alright.
fact. Yeah,
That's
it's all right.
marginally fun.
Okay, I'm gonna really put it together for the Omega
I
Man.
feel like that one it was like marginally fun, but you could have pitched it in a better way, and I would have been like, oh, that's fun. You said
Yeah,
it.
you
in
gotta
a funnier
always
way.
go forward with confidence, Joey.
Okay, I didn't realize this came into like a self-help Joey.
That one was
episode.
on the fence. That one was about delivery. And
Okay,
you blew it again.
I blew
You
it.
blew it up. You blew it up.
While we watch the Omega Man trailer, I'll read like the Art of the Game or some confidence book, and I'll get my confidence back up.
the last man on Earth lives in a fortress.
What day is it anyway? Monday?
The hell it is. It's Sunday.
Sunday, I always dress for dinner.
Discovered check. How does that grab you, Caesar?
The last man on Earth always carries an automatic weapon. The last man on Earth is hunting. Because the last man on Earth is not alone.
Mad bomber himself.
And I see you got a mad scientist.
You know me?
And about your work.
My work?
Incremental effects, countermeasures to toxic agents in liquid systems delivery, microbiological letters, January 1975, remember?
You know what it means?
I was a med school senior when they scratched the world.
Family.
God, I forgot to keep the fuel up in the generator. They'll be into the garage!
Not the place where all the dead were burned. Get the switches! Get those lights up! He's gone! Find him! Find him!
Damn it, left and step on it!
That is
That
the
was
best trailer.
awesome.
Oh my God, that's in the trailer trashing Hall of
Yeah.
Fame.
10. That's a 10.
That's
I give it
so
a 10. It's a 10.
You had everything you ever wanted from a trailer. There was guns, there was action, there was an interracial kiss, there was zombies, cult-like zombies, there was
Telephones.
A rebel, there was a telethon. I'm so... I got to recap this for the people who couldn't see it. Essentially what happened was Charlton Heston, last man on Earth, but phones are ringing.
Super
badass. He has guns. He's shooting places up. Everybody's dead, or are they not dead? So this like group of rebels come and find him. They're like, man, we gotta stop this zombie apocalypse. And there's these zombies dressed like priests or like nuns, and Charlton Heston fucking kills all of these zombies. It was
awesome. And the thing
Oh my
is,
God,
this
it
was
was
also a
amazing.
3.5 minute trailer. So I guess the sweaty 70s made 3.5 minute trailers, but the only difference is like it was awesome, and I had no problem watching it for 3.5 minutes. Where like the last one we were complaining, oh, it's too long. But this one was like, boom, badass
It wasn't
the whole
long
time.
enough. I wish it could have been an hour long. I could have been longer than the movie, and I would have been happy with it.
Derek, do you also give this a 10?
I'll give it a 9, just because it was a little long.
Okay, I respect
You
that.
don't have the guts. You don't have the guts to go all the way to 10.
Yeah, Derek.
How dare you?
There was a time in our friendship where I would say, you know what? Derek's a real risky guy. He'll give stuff 10s and doesn't give a fuck about society. And now look at yourself. You have a 9-to-5 job. You're a pencil pusher, and you're afraid to go home with the 10 because you're lame.
You're a lily-livered, goose-brained fool.
And also,
Oh my
you're
God.
terrible at breakdancing.
Charlton Heston's got the testosterone running hot right now.
I
in
just
this-
grew
in
so
this
many more
podcast.
chest hairs from Charleston Heston.
Charlton Heston.
Charleston Heston.
I'm naming the episode
So,
Charleston Heston.
I take it you guys haven't watched this movie?
No, but
No, I
I'm-
have
I
not.
think there's like
it's,
a solid chance that I watch it tonight.
They remade it in, what was it, 2008 with Will Smith. I Am Legend.
Really?
Everyone's seen that.
I Am
Wait,
Legend is a
wait a
remake of
second.
this.
The second iteration of I Am Legend. I think there was one in the 50s.
Yes, there was. It was called The Last Man on Earth.
Yeah.
Why is
So-
it called I Am Legend then?
Because the book is called I Am Legend that all three
Yeah.
movies are based off of. And for some
Whoa.
reason, it wasn't until 2008 we were like, we're finally going to just call a movie I Am Legend, damn it. I think they were afraid to do it for some reason. I don't know.
They're afraid to go by the book.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's what would, I mean, think about the times, like in the 1950s, movies were called just like what they were about. The brain that ate girls. The foot that kept growing. The last man on earth, question mark.
So then what was the 70s?
And the 70s, yeah, it's the Omega Man. You know, it's sexier. It's sexy and sweaty. He has, his blood is like the cure for the virus. So, and in this version, the virus turns people purple and into cultist mutants that
Ah,
I
you
think
blew
they have
it all
mind powers.
to purple.
Yeah. So they don't like light, so he keeps them away with light. The movie goes to every length except just calling them vampires. No, they're mutants. And then again, I don't want to say the ending, but it's like the ending of every single one of his movies.
He screams.
They don't want him to find the cure. They don't want to repopulate the earth with racially mixed babies.
Yeah, so basically, if you're making a dystopian, futuristic movie where the world sucks, you need Charlton Heston in it. Like, he's like the answer, I guess.
Yeah, I think they make him hear the phones too. He's like partially going crazy, but they can beam their voice echoey into his house. It's a lot of vampire powers. I'm like, just make it a vampire movie.
Well, see, the thing is, vampires traditionally need to ask permission to enter a house. So I guess.
Well,
that's...
but they can. I think in some they can project their voice and stuff and hypnotize people.
Wow, so they're kind of like magicians.
Yes.
Magicians, musicians, ladlings, all of it.
What?
What are they called? Ladlers?
Are you attempting to transition?
I
didn't land on anything. This is a very classic Joey. Musicians, transitions, ladle. Anyway, criticisms, which brings us to the Soylent Tomato game.
Well, I want to talk about that kiss because I know I botched the ball with the bad facts the last time around.
You ball botched. You ball botched.
but I know that I can save the podcast with this fun fact I'm gonna say right now. So this was like it wasn't the first interracial kiss in movie history, but it was the most famous interracial kiss in movie history at that point. And it was so big that when Charlton Heston went on Whoopi Goldberg's 1992 talk show, she addressed how like big of a kiss it is, and that she feels like there's still a lot of like people in America who don't want to see white people and black people kissing on TV. And Charlton Heston, you know how he responded to that statement?
He kissed her? Did he kiss her? Tell me he kissed her.
He leaned in and gave Whoopi Goldberg a sloppy old sweaty Charlton Heston kisser. And you guys, I recommend go on YouTube. The clip's on YouTube. It's incredible. Like he literally looks at it and goes, I don't feel that way, and just leans in and smooches her.
Wow. That wouldn't fly today.
No, what do you mean? Are you kidding?
You gotta ask for consent.
Dude, it's Whoopi Goldberg consented in the way she looked at his sexy old aging muscles.
The whoopee eyes.
The whoopee eyes. Did I save my fun fact credentials with that?
That was pretty good. However, I'm confused because the kiss that you're referring to in the trailer never even happened.
It didn't happen in the trailer, but in the movie, they actually have a full-on like make-out French-style tongue-on-tongue wrestle.
Woo! Oh, man.
In Charlton Heston's book about his life, he wrote that Rosalind told him that she grew up watching Ten Commandments, and she feels very spooky about kissing Moses.
Wow. I guess that is kind of spooky. All right, so I guess we have to try and guess this Rotten Tomato thing, right?
Yeah, let's guess it up.
So
I already
guess
know
it's my turn to go first.
It's your turn to go first. Lay it on me, sister.
So if it was that famous of an interracial kiss, I'm going to say it did pretty decently if it was famous, you know? Famous is good when it comes to movies. So I'm going to go, but not too good, so I'm going to go 79 again. That's high. That's pretty high. I think it did worse, but I'm going to stick with it.
And how would you counter Mr. Derek Blythe?
I'll do the year this came out, 71.
Wait, Charlie, what did you give it? You gave it a 75?
79.
Oh, that's amazing because that means Derek wins again. You lose again. Derek, you're going to see Bobby Seger again. You practically know him now based on how many times you've seen him live.
Hell yeah. Alexa, play audience clapping for me. Alexa, thank you.
It may not live up to the classic source material, but the Omega Man transcends its imagination often enough to offer some mildly entertaining post-apocalyptic thrills. Woo! Tomato people, I'm so excited to watch this movie right now.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Bobby Seger himself hated it.
He didn't like it. He gave it a 2 out of 4.
He doesn't like sex appeal, I think.
Here's what he has to say. The Omega Man is based on an uncredited novel by Richard Matheson. I wonder if it was I Am Legend, a very good work about the last normal man left in a world of vampires. He held them off with mirrors, crosses, and garlic. Vampires. The usual mixture, and did very nearly as well as Heston with his spotlights. I think he just didn't like that they didn't credit the guy
that was
who wrote.
A book review.
Yeah.
We asked for a movie review, and Roger Ebert gave us a book review.
Well, no, he said that it just was. I mean, it kind of makes sense that he's pissed. They should credit the book, right? And I guess the difference is in the book they do call them vampires. So that answers your question, Derek.
Yeah, he calls them ghouls in this. I like he says the ghouls, alas, are a little too ridiculous to quite fulfill their function.
They didn't want to call them vampires because they weren't crediting the author of I Am Legend.
I can see what he means.
Cares?
They're supposed to have evolved to be like super smart and cunning now, but they are bumbling at times.
Because they're movie villains. I mean, like
Yeah.
how many times did the fucking stormtroopers miss their shot in Star Wars?
Much times.
Yeah, that is true. So many action movies have bad guys, and I'm like, how can I believe these guys are bad guys if they can't even shoot an easy target?
And they die from one punch.
Yeah, they're bad, but they're bad at shooting people.
Yeah, like I was actually watching an X-Men cartoon earlier this morning from like the 1970s, I think, and literally they were like going in like a whole army's trying to fight the X-Men, and Wolverine's just going up to them and like karate chopping them one time in the stomach, and they're just fucking falling down. Like Wolverine should at least need to use his fucking wolf-like horns to kill someone, not just a little stomach slap.
Yeah, and also Scooby-Doo and the gang, they should have just gotten guns and shot all the people in the costumes.
That would have saved them time.
Yeah.
You know the NRA would have given them so much money if that was the case.
Light them up, Scoob!
And speaking of lighting stuff up, I want to light up this next trailer because it sounds hot. It's called The Naked Jungle.
Oh yeah, so speaking of lighting stuff up, it's called the Naked Jungle. It's called the Lighting 'em Up Naked Jungle.
Perfume I wanted you to wear. Isn't it good enough for you? Have you even tried it? You're my wife. Maybe you forgot that. Line Engine's woman.
Far up the uncharted wilds of the ominous Rio Negra, a two-fisted roughneck named Leningen tamed a savage empire with his bare hands. But not even Leningen could tame Joanna, the lady from New Orleans he bought as a mail-order bride.
You're quite a woman.
You're right.
For only a woman like this could stand beside him in the shadow of disaster, the unknown menace that turned the naked jungle into a graveyard of silence.
Nothing there.
There's something there, all right. But it's not afraid of guns.
What was this silent scourge that made the savages desert their villages in terror, that devoured every living thing that stood in its way?
Marabunta.
This was their enemy, the man-eating marabunta. And here in the naked jungle, you'll share the dangers of their epic struggle against the deadliest force in all of nature, fighting back with fire and water and brute courage in one of the most amazing conflicts ever filmed.
Okay, I could not understand what was real and was not real because, Derek, you were talking during the trailer with your funny movie voice, so I didn't know which narrator was you and which narrator was the actual narrator.
Here's what happened. I forgot to read the stuff that was being like, so it was like half, they went half and half, which was not good for me. They did half like you had to read it and half they narrated it. So I was like, damn it, I forgot to read some of this stuff. And so Derek was helping me out by narrating it, but then there was also the real narrator, and Joey got confused. I chose this movie, never saw it before, but we were doing Charlton Heston movies, and I didn't want to choose like some boring old movie everybody knows about. It's like, oh, we choose
like
the most
Planet of the Apes or Ben-Hur or Ten Commandments.
The one movie he made 1 billion times.
Yeah, exactly. So I chose this one because it had the word naked in it, and I was like, at least Joey would like it probably, and it sounds interesting, you know. Naked.
I did like it.
Yeah, Joey was.
But there was no boobies in it.
What are you talking about?
Penises.
What about the opening scene? For all the people listening along, the opening scene was this man and this woman. He's like, "What? This perfume I got for you isn't good enough." And he like fucking like grabs her really hard by the arm and like he fucking
brutalizes her and pours. He's pouring liquids on her in every shot together.
He pours the perfume all over her.
This is our introduction to our hero. Is him being drunk and brutalizing a woman. You're my girl. And then it's like, he's going to save this village.
Was Charlton Heston the one with the mail-ordered bride? Was that what they said?
He's the brutalizing guy. It was from the 1950s, and it was like
was mail-ordered brides cool in the 1950s? I don't understand.
I don't think that had anything to do with mail-order brides, Joseph.
Where did you get that?
Did you not watch the
He's
Do you not watch
said
the
you
trailer?
belong to me a bunch of times.
Wait, did you guys not watch the
We all watched the
trailer.
trailer.
Did he say that? There's a lot going on visually and everything. I was trying to get a grip on this. Does he say Mail Order Bride?
No.
Wait, all right. Literally, in the trailer, the narrator goes, "It is mail order bride."
Really?
I don't think that's what he said.
I'm playing it right now.
From New Orleans, he bought as a mail order bride.
That's it.
How did you guys miss that? He had a mail order bride. When you edit the podcast, play that sound bite in this moment right now so people can know I'm right.
Fuck you.
Guys.
I was recovering from watching that clip. Like, it's so violent.
So whose mail order bride is it? Is it Charlton Heston's or is it the other guy?
I don't know. It's not clear. It's not clear.
It's not clear.
I imagine it's his. She's obviously not behaving the way that he would like, and he's very frustrated with that.
Yeah, I think Charlton Heston is like the one white dude, and that's what I was saying is that this is from 1954, and it's very much a product of its time, and it's filled with this colonialist view of the world, where it's like, I gotta go be a white guy and help these savages deal with this monster.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are they going to do without me, the white guy, and my mail-order bride, who's a hot mama? Or what is it? They're like, she can't be tamed. I got to tame my woman and save the savages. That's my duty.
They put in the scene where he's just shooting blanks into the darkness, and then people are like, what was that? He's like, something's there. And then it cuts to the next scene, and it shows nothing.
Yeah, that was good.
It's just a guy losing it in the jungle and being violent with women. Maybe it doesn't show any monster. It's like the side of a mountain I don't
But
know
there
what
is
the
a
monster's
monster, though.
supposed to be. A snake or some shit? I don't know. It just looks like he's crazy and taking all these jungle people with him.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a monster though.
The monster looked like a dead animal that wasn't moving.
I'm
And they
looking
were
at
like,
this-
it's, you see, it's the monster.
It looks like a mountain that's being deforested. I don't see anything in this. I'm looking at the frame. What
The thing
is it?
The thing is, we don't see the monster in the trailer, but the voiceover guy acknowledges that they're going to fight a monster, and it has a name. There's a point where they say the
it's
name.
Mana
and it's like
Hutabuda.
Chupacabra.
Yeah,
Mahabut Banana Ebert.
But Derek, I love that you love the perfume scene so much, because that perfume scene.
Did Whoopi Goldberg ask him about the perfume scene, and then he does that to her?
poured perfume all over.
All right, we're good. Interview over.
So, no, you have to listen to this fun fact though. That was not in the script.
I believe
Charlton
that.
Heston,
I 100% believe that.
Charlton Heston improvised all those lines, and like it was supposed to be like a 2-second scene, and he was like, "No, I really am feeling emotion
Keep
for this
rolling."
scene.
But Mr. Heston, keep rolling. Scene over. You're my lady, aren't you?
Yeah, it's classic. I feel like growing up with the childhood that I had, watching a lot of content from the 50s, there's nothing more classically from the 50s than a man really grabbing a woman by the arm and pulling her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just saw a newspaper clipping from Brooklyn around this time, and it was one of those opinion pieces where I'm dead, and so no one needs my anecdote.
All right, we're not getting Derek's anecdote,
Nope,
but
it's
you know
cursed.
what we will get? We'll get the Rotten Tomato game, the Soylent Green game, because I know that's something that we can do without Derek getting his panties in a bunch.
Okay.
Derek, since you're winning, I'll let Charlie go first.
I'm going to give this one a 69 because I have no idea about anything about this movie.
Derek, how do you counter?
I think it's like a 29.
Wow, you guys are both wrong. Charlie wins. It was an 86. The tomato people love it.
That's
Oh,
right. It's a
wow.
classic movie from the 50s. That's what they all look like.
Basically, if there's domestic violence in a 1950s movie, you know it's gonna get a good rating on
Thumbs
Rotten
up.
Tomatoes.
Improvised domestic violence.
If they're grabbing the arm like that, you know it's good if it's from the 50s. Because that's what they wanted.
So unfortunately, I couldn't find like any real film review. There was no Roger Ebert. There was no New York Times. There was nothing like classic. So I found a website called Contact Music that for some reason does film reviews. And we got a little film review that was from Christopher Knoll. I don't know anything else about him.
Christopher Knoll gives this 3 out of 5 stars. Good.
Good.
That's what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back in the 1950s, Charlton Heston was cranking out 2 or 3 movies a year. Most of them cheapies like
Read the last paragraph.
like The Naked Jungle. No, I thought that was a good one. Fuck you.
Okay.
Heston and Parker aren't exactly Tracy and Hepburn, and their chemistry here is forced. But ultimately, it's the bizarre
Literally.
structure, half romantic drama, and half monster movie that makes The Naked Jungle a truly unique experience. It's not a terrible one, mind you, but the second half of the film is far more interesting. If you want to see an unlikely couple set in an exotic location, check out The African Queen. But Jungle's Ants Invasion is surprisingly effective and attention grabbing, I guess so. I'm not sure I've ever seen a monster flick treated with such seriousness and, dare I say, reverence. If you rent it, simply fast forward from the 45-minute mark.
That's why we couldn't see who he's shooting at.
Because there are ants?
He shoots every ant one by one, and that's how he saves the day. Brought to you by the National Rifle Association.
So this movie was such a hit that there was demand, because like not everybody could watch TV back then, so there was huge demand to get a radio version on the radio. And so right after this movie made, they put it on the radio, similar to our podcast, kind of.
That's
'cause
kind of
it was
weird.
all audio.
They put this movie
right?
on the radio? Wow, what a time to be alive.
No, like yeah, like they did like a dramatic reading with Charlton Heston doing the thing.
Wow, that's kind of wild. It's like going on talk shows, but in the 50s, you had to just read your movie on the radio instead.
So I guess what we learned today is that in the 1950s, domestic violence makes movies good, I guess. That Charlton Heston, he loves yelling to the gods. That Whoopi Goldberg didn't consent but didn't mind the kiss at all. And that apparently every movie Charlton Heston ever did was based off a novel that he did not ever credit for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we learned that it's Charlton Heston and not Charleston.
Yeah, it's Charlton. Not like I always thought Charleston Chew was named after Charlton Heston, but I guess that doesn't make any sense.
Not at all.
So that was the episode. I guess we're done. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back again next week with more trailer trashing. And I was Joey Rinaldi. That was Derek Blythe and Charlie Weinschenk. If you liked what you heard, give us a 5-star review on the podcast app, or just follow us on Instagram, or just email us and say hi. We always love hearing from you guys.
Yeah, Joey really wants a girlfriend.
I really need a girlfriend. All right, we'll be back next week. See you later, knuckleheads.
Soylent Green is people. It's people.